So if I can do it, you can do it too. It's just that you need that help, someone holding your hand to help you achieve it. To the point where you feel like you've tried everything on your own and nothing works, then get a coach, because they will show you something you've never tried before. Firstly, you need to know how to activate them, to feel them before you can grow them. Because if you're like tensing your glutes, but you don't actually feel them activating, that's an issue. I don't think it's the skin routine that saves my skin. It's what I put into my body that makes a difference with my skin. First and foremost, it's relationships. Like, I'm very big on getting to know a person for who they are, so therefore I can give them what they actually need.
Hello family, namaskar. Welcome back to my channel Mascular Yogi. Today's video is gonna be a very interesting video because the people who always excuse that I can't go gym, I have that thing to do, I have responsibilities, I have thousands of excuses not to go gym. So this is a video for you guys especially, and in today's show we have a lady, her name is Kayler. She owned her own gym, she have her own gym. She is a mother of 4 kids, and she's so fit. So that podcast will be a very interesting podcast. We have so much discussions about as a mother what you can do be a fit, as a woman what you can do be a fit, as an entrepreneur what you can do for rapid growth. So it will be a very good podcast, especially for the women. So don't miss that video. See that video from start to end. And if you like my videos, subscribe my channel, share my videos, so that I'll make more and more and more and more videos. So one day you guys will step into a gym. So my first question is, when you start your journey in fitness?
Ooh, okay. Look, I think I've always had a journey, like from the very beginning with fitness. Like, my journey's been from as soon as I could walk, really. But if we're going off like the point where I decided, I had that moment, it would be when I was about 15.
15 years old?
Yeah.
Okay. So is there something happen in your life which motivates you in fitness? Or?
It's actually funny. What motivated me was going through, I guess, like a feeling or knowing what it's like not to have fitness. So at a young age, believe it or not, I actually smoked quite heavily for a few months. So it wasn't years or anything like that, but I smoked quite heavily for a few months. And I was only about 15 at the time. So when I realized that like my basketball skills were like dropping and lacking, and I wasn't able to run the full court as easily as I was before, and like going to the gym with my friends and like huffing and puffing and like just feeling like crap, I knew 100% that it was the smoking. And so it got to a point where like the fact that it was affecting me so greatly outweighed like the pain. Pushed me to want to like get back what I once had. Yeah, so it's that whole like cost benefit way up. It's like, okay, the benefits of smoking was that like, yeah, I feel like this is helping me relieve my stress, but I also know there's better ways to do it, and I feel really good after training too. So when I weigh it all up, the exercise is not costing me what cigarettes are costing me, plus like the cost of my health and all the rest of it. So it was just outweighed by the benefits of exercise.
I think most of kids do that thing, like whenever they're in stress, just start smoking or drinking, isn't it?
Yep, drugs, alcohol.
So in which year you competed in ICN?
That would be 2018.
2018, and what was your age on that time?
I think I was 23. Yeah, 23.
23. So she competed for bodybuilding in 23. Man, that's awesome. Another thing, the most important question is, how many kids you have? I know, but
I've got 4 kids.
So she has 4 kids, and can you tell me their age?
So the oldest will be 9 this year, and then I've got one turning 8.
Yeah.
The other one's going on 4, and the youngest is 1.
And what's your age right now?
I am 28.
Yeah. So she's fully packed. I think you have a good family, good business, and everything just going within a smooth way, isn't it? Because most of people at 27 or 26, like, they doesn't have a vision. They doesn't have a good vision, isn't it?
Yeah.
Another thing, can you tell your favorite workout split
Ooh,
for the women's?
Ooh. Okay. I think starting off, it wasn't my favorite, but it grew on me because when you get results, you see that something's paying off, you start to like it. So
Exactly.
I grew a love for weight training, resistance training, and even like hit sessions, like, you know, short intervals where you're like, I know that I can do this for 20 seconds. It sucks for that 20 seconds that I'm doing it, but I know I'm going to get rewarded with a 20-second break, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
It's a good kind of approach, I think.
Just short intervals.
So, quick suggestions for the women's who are like, who came just after the pregnancy. So because most of women have a mindset like after pregnancy they will never get in a shape. Most of women from the family where I came, they always have that kind of approach. So is there any kind of suggestion for the women or any kind of message you want to tell? Yes, this is possible. You can lose a weight. You can be in shape.
There's so much I can say, but I will say I did have that belief myself that once I saw my body the way it was after I had kids, I truly believed that I would not ever get back the body that I once had, which is true. I will never get back that exact body. But funnily enough, I have a body that I think is better than before I had kids, because back then I was smoking, I was drinking, I was hanging around the wrong people, I was eating crappy food. So like the shifts that I've gone through, I can actually thank my coach for that, because surrounding myself with positive people that have my best interests at heart is what pushed me to make the changes that I ultimately made. So they were still my choices. So I think for anyone out there that is at a point where they feel like they've accepted themselves for who they are, think again, find a coach that has had success helping people make changes, or they themselves have, like myself, like I've gone through those changes. So if I can do it, you can do it too. It's just that you need that help, someone holding your hand to help you achieve it.
One more thing I want to ask. Is it really make any change if you have a coach or if you don't have a coach?
100% it does. Because again, like it's that influence over you. But you need to have your priorities around the right way before you go and get a coach. You actually have to want to change your life so badly to the point where you feel like you've tried everything on your own and nothing works. Then get a coach, because they will show you something you've never tried before.
That's what I always say to people, like, hire a coach. It's not like you will gonna hire a like best coach, but just hire a coach or hire a trainer.
Because you're not expected. No one, like, if you're not in the industry, you cannot know it all.
Exactly.
That's why there is an industry. Go to a coach that's going to know more than you do. They might not know everything, but they will be able to give you some wisdom that you never once had.
Perfect. Like, I have few clients, they always ask me just one question, that how to grow a glutes. So give me just one method or a technique or any kind of suggestions for the women's how to grow their glutes.
Firstly, you need to know how to activate them, to feel them before you can grow them.
Okay.
Because if you're like tensing your glutes, but you don't actually feel them activating, that's an issue. Like, I think being able to like lay there and just like squeeze your bum as hard as you can and feel that it's doing something, or it's getting to a point where it's crampy or burning, then you're on the right track. So literally just starting with like laying on your back and like squeezing your bum cheeks, or laying on your tummy and squeezing your bum cheeks, and just feeling that they're actually there.
Okay, that's interesting. And one more thing I want to ask, what's your skin routine like your skin is pretty glowing and everything. And I think that's the best part in fitness industry. Like the way you look is the, I think, best answer to everyone. Yes, I'm a fit lady or a fit guy.
Yeah.
So is there any special kind of skin routine you follow? You apply something, any kind of multivitamins you take?
I do take multivitamins, and I do have a skin routine, like just basic, like cleansing, toning, moisturizing. But from my, I guess like from just tracking like what I eat, because I'm so conscious, I don't think it's the skin routine that saves my skin. It's what I put into my body that makes a difference with my skin. So if I'm not having enough water, I'm going to have dry, flaky skin. Therefore, if I drink water, my skin is hydrated. If I'm eating lots of sugary foods, eventually I'm going to have a skin breakout. Versus if I'm not having it, I'm not going to have the breakout. Hormones are a huge factor. So when you go through those hormonal periods where like you're getting close to that time of the month, it's not the time of the month's fault. It's what you're craving during that time that you put into your body that has that effect.
Exactly.
But also just in general, like fatty kinds of foods, like takeaway and oily, greasy kind of stuff. Like if I'm going to overindulge in something like that, I can expect that I'm going to have a random breakout or have some oily skin as a result. So I already know what I'm in for before I make a decision. It's just, it's just whether or not I make that decision consciously.
So like according to you, it's more what you put into your body.
Yep, not what I'm putting on it.
On it, exactly. And at the last, I just want to ask how your business is special in the town. Like how you run your business. What's the kind of approach you follow? Like I see you have a big space over there, a big space over here, and I see you train people in the morning, in the early mornings, sometime in the afternoon, sometime in the evening. At the same time, you have 4 kids. So just tell me in a short way, like, what's your approach?
Okay, first and foremost, it's relationships. Like I'm very big on getting to know a person for who they are, so therefore I can give them what they actually need, not what a trainer thinks generically everyone needs. So just going that extra mile to build a relationship is huge. Personalizing the approach is massive. So I like to keep my groups small. As much as I could expand and I could have big groups running and cut the costs back and all that, I would rather give the best version of myself to a small group of people that I have a close relationship with and get them results in a healthy way without putting too much stress, without them feeling like a number. I feel like that works best for me because I like to feel like I'm thought of as a person and not a number. So therefore I'm projecting that onto my clients, I guess. So I guess I want to attract people that want to build connections and relationships, and it is just more than a place to come and train.
So it's more kind of a qualitative approach you have.
Yep. And I'm extremely hard on myself about the quality that I give my clients. So you can expect someone that probably cares a little bit too much when you come to train here. Yeah.
So again, the last thing I want to ask is like, I'm from India, and women have like 3 kids, 4 kids, and they always have that kind of stuff in their mind. Like I have 3 kids, how can I be fit? Because I have to do so many things at the same time. So is there any small like motivational kind of things in your journey? Because you have 4 kids and at the same time you running your own business. At the same time you are in a perfect shape, I think all of the year. So is there any particular approach you want to tell to the public? That or any kind of story, any kind of motivational story from your life which always push you?
I just know that I wanted it bad enough. I just know that in terms of like seeing how my body was after having the first and second child, I I just wasn't happy with it. So I guess like it became a focus for me. It became like a priority, that like it wasn't just how I looked. I actually didn't feel good either. So I think the initial thing that I did was just try and move more than I currently was. Just like baby steps. When I really, really break it down, I can see that I didn't just go bang, like straight back into it. Once I learnt over time, like a couple of years of learning how to really put myself first in a way that's actually healthy, and to not see it as being selfish, that made a huge difference to then how I dealt with my third and fourth pregnancy, to the point where 3 months after having a baby, I was like back at my starting weight.
So just after 3 months of pregnancy, you again stepped into a gym or?
I actually went back to training like 5 days after giving birth, to be honest. But I just did like very.
That's really motivational.
Like, because it is my life. It is a part of my lifestyle, and for me, it's like a form of like medication for my mental health. So, I guess like for those that maybe have other ways of having outlets, whether it's alcohol or drugs or even sex and medication and stuff like that, like you might already have things in place, but there's always other options. And I think for me, I tried all those things. Like I was on medication for my mental health, and it got to a point where it was like, I'm feeling worse in other ways because this medication actually inhibits your ability to lose weight.
Exactly.
So like it was making things worse. So I slowly got off that and found exercise to be like both beneficial for my mind and like my body and how I felt. And it was just like a 5-in-1, you know?
Wow.
It's like when you get like, you know, those tablets or like a hair product or something that says like 3-in-1. You know, that's what exercise is like. It is like a 5-in-1 approach. There's just like so many things that it helps with in such a positive way, but it doesn't feel like that at first, because it actually does require effort and requires, you know, prioritizing time for and, you know, saving the energy to do it. But it's worth it. Like, and it's easy for me to say now because I'm already at that point where it's paid off.
Yeah.
But when you're first starting out, you really need motivation. You really need someone to hold you accountable. And that's where me going into like my courses and surrounding myself with people that like to exercise and coaches and all of that made a huge difference.
I think it also like if you have that kind of gut feeling, like you can do it or you have to do it, then I think there's no demotivation kind of thing comes in the mind.
Yes. Plus, I know comparison's not always healthy, but in my case, it was a driver. I researched like mothers that compete and like women that have achieved like huge success, and realized that, oh my gosh, like if other people can actually do that. But then I kept making excuses like, yeah, but I'm just like general population. I'm just like an average person. You know, and that's where the coaching came in, because the coach that I had was freaking amazing, and he was like, but you are capable. But they were just average normal people too. Like, you know, what makes you think that you're less because you're not on a poster somewhere? Like, you know, you can actually achieve exactly what they've achieved, if not more, but you just have to want it. And like, if I give you the pathway and say, you just got to do X, Y, and Z, are you gonna do X, Y, and Z? Like, you have to be willing. Like, what is it that you're actually willing to do is always the first question I ask the client, because there's 1,000 things I can give you to do. Yeah, exactly. But I need to know, what are you willing to do? Are you willing to change your diet? The answer could be no at that point. They might not be willing yet, but they're willing to come in and train. Great, that's a step. Let's just work on movement first.
Just start from something, exactly. So I'm not gonna take your time. I know she's a busy lady in the town. So and thanks a lot for the podcast. Is there any kind of message you want to give to the public? Any kind of message, to the women's, men's, any kind of message. Okay. Even to the town. Like I feel there's a different kind of approach in her gym. So if you're really looking for the results, then yes, YouFitness. So is there anything you want to add up to that? I
think I just want to let people know that like my intentions are good and I just want the best for everyone. Like, I wish I could change the whole entire town and the world and everything, but it's just one person. Like,
Exactly.
So just know that, like, I'm in your corner. Like, when you come in here, I might seem a little, like, to the point and blunt and black and white at times, but know that it comes from a place of care. I just want everyone to do well.
Cool. That's a good one. That's a good one. Thanks for that. And I'll see you guys in the next podcast with someone who have a good experience and who is doing good in the fitness industry. So I'll see you in the next podcast. Thank you.